People say tragedy brings out the truth, and with Erika Kirk, it did exactly that. It exposed her greed and desire for power and luxury. And once Charlie Kirk was gone, her true nature is now stepping into the light, a life of extraordinary luxury. Today, we are diving into the trillionaire life of Erika Kirk. Erika, the girl who wanted more. I've known Erika long enough to tell you this much with confidence. Nothing about the woman you see today is new. Her choices didn't suddenly appear after Charlie's death, and her taste for luxury didn't grow overnight. If anything, her present life is simply the loudest version of a pattern she's carried quietly for years. And if you follow her story from the beginning, you'll see it too, just like I did. Erika grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona, a city that shines without trying. I'm talking about big houses behind tall trees and a driveway lined with brand new cars. People there live in a kind of luxury that makes you dream of nothing but a life without stress. Erika was in the middle of that glamour, watchful, calm, and polished. A girl who didn't just notice nice things, she wanted them all. People say greed is learned. In Erika's case, it was inherited not only in money, but also in worldview. And yes, you could see this in the way she always positions herself for the perfect opportunities and access. Her father, Kent Francevy, worked for the U.S. Department of Defense. Her mother, Loretta Ann Francevy, was with Homeland Security, and her grandfather was the vice president of American Banknote Company. When you grow up watching your family make millions from defense contracts, global deals, and political alliances, giving back doesn't always mean sacrifice. Sometimes it means branding. Let me ask you, why did you think Erika founded Romanian Angels, an orphan ministry in Constanța, Romania, that partnered with U.S. Marines and Army personnel at age 17? Don't say it was for charity because people didn't buy that. Here is the thing. Online investigators accused the program of child trafficking, claiming helpless children were exported to the UK or Israel under the cover of humanitarian aid. Although no arrests or charges were made, suspicion remained. And for me, that was the first sign, not of kindness, but of strategy and greed. Because from that moment on, every chapter in Erika's life pointed in one direction, upward and toward influence. Then something strange happened. On her 23rd birthday, Erika won the Miss Arizona USA title without prior training or experience in pageantry. And it was a Trump-owned system, which people criticized for using pretty girls to enter wealthy circles. So you have to ask, how did she win so fast? Then, she met Charlie Kirk, and if you know how the couple met, then you know where this story is going. Erika Kirk met Charlie in 2018 during a job interview. I mean, who walks into a job interview and walks out with a husband? When they began dating in 2019, even the blind could tell that something was off. Charlie, already running Turning Point USA, one of the biggest conservative organizations in the world, fell quickly, saying Erika was the one. Erika, though, approached the relationship differently. You could see it in interviews, photos, and early appearances. She wasn't overwhelmed or swept away. She was composed, steady, almost analytical, like someone measuring not just the man, but the life that came with him. She called it true love, but really, it seemed like she just hit the jackpot. And right after, everything started unfolding like a well-thought-out plan. Erika wanted the world to see a love story that was perfect and flawless, framing their meeting as divinely timed. She described Charlie as the man she had been praying for. Well, that looks like a jackpot to me. Now, here is the interesting part. When Erika finally married Charlie in May 2021, it looked, on the surface, like the perfect ending to the perfect story. A faith-filled ceremony, her mother gently adjusting her gown during the celebration, and Erika smiling as every prayer had just been answered. Online, she called it a faith-filled story. Charlie described it as his favorite love story to his daughter, and people believed them because the images were beautiful and the words were soft. But I watched their marriage closely, and beneath all that softness, you could still see the same pattern. Erika stepping into a life that offered everything she'd always wanted: influence, wealth, a growing organization, a man dedicated to a calling that kept expanding, just as her lifestyle did. They had 2 children, and Erika played the role of the devoted wife and mother. Every post, every caption, every moment was planned and rehearsed to perfection. But everything changed when Charlie died, and that's where the real story begins. Life as a widow. I need you to pay close attention here, because this is the part of Erika's story people usually skip, and it's the part that tells you the most. Right after Charlie Kirk was killed in that public, brutal attack, it was like the world stopped for a second, for people to process the untimely death of a promising young man. To be honest, the world expected a widow who was shattered, quiet, hidden, someone trying to breathe through a pain that doesn't let you stand upright. But Erika? That was when she took the stage, stepping forward with style and a speed that even surprised her supporters. For starters, barely days after Charlie's death, days, not weeks, she was already on stage, entirely composed, speaking at a turning point event. And here is the shocker: she had a full makeup on, and her hair was done to perfection. Her speech? It was delivered flawlessly. No shaking voice, no breaking down, almost like she rehearsed it a year ago. Not even the kind of distance you expect from someone who just lost their husband in a brutal attack. People whispered. I heard them. How is she this calm? Why is she doing press conferences already? And honestly, I had the same question because grief doesn't usually walk in heels in studio lighting. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone mourns differently, but something about this moment changed everything for Erika. I'm talking about the video she posted, showing her in an intimate moment with Charlie's body in a casket. She was kissing him, touching his hands, recording it all up close like content for an audience. No one knew what to make of it. Some said it was touching, but most people, they said what you're probably thinking right now. Something about this feels wrong. Despite the public backlash about her new behavior, Erika kept moving, almost too fast, like she wasn't adjusting to a tragedy, but stepping into a role. And guess what? She confirmed my suspicion the moment her name was announced as the new CEO of Turning Point USA. All of a sudden, everything began to make sense. All along, Erika had always wanted to be the boss, and it's now or never. And if you think that was strange, wait until you see what came next. Because Erika did not just move on, she leveled up. To be honest, it's not her new role as CEO that caught my attention. It was the lifestyle. The shift was so sudden, so sharp, and so well polished that you didn't need a microscope to see it. All you had to do was look closely, the way I did, and follow the numbers. Before Charlie died, Erika was comfortable, maybe worth around $2 million from her podcast, small real estate deals, and her Proclaim clothing line. Nothing groundbreaking. But after Charlie's passing, her net worth reportedly jumped to $14 million. Yes, you heard me right. That kind of leap doesn't happen quietly, and certainly not without changing the way a person moves in the world. And you know, Erika moved differently. Her fashion changed first, not in color, but in class. You began to see the kind of clothes you don't just buy, you select. Designer jackets that cost over $1,000, custom gowns for political galas, the designer dresses in every photo. And her streetwear brand? It became a goldmine overnight. She now sells sweatshirts for $88 and t-shirts for $55. Baby blankets are at $25. And the shocking part? She is all about her business now, making posts that seemed emotional at first glance, but looked more like quiet advertisements when you looked again. But what can I say? She knew exactly what she was doing. Now guess what? Erika, who used to travel modestly with Charlie Kirk, now flies private jets like taxis, barely months after his death. First, she was in Washington for prayer events, then in Mississippi for campus appearances. And before long, she was flying on Air Force Two with J.D. Vance, the vice president. These weren't quiet, private moments of grief. They were public steps, calculated and steady. And everywhere she showed up, she looked ready, put it together. Confidence, like a woman who wasn't being slowed down by tragedy, but guided by it. Without a doubt, Erika is now living a trillionaire lifestyle. Do you remember their $4.75 million home in Scottsdale? The one she shared with Charlie? She sold it for $5.25 million. Then she moved into a new estate in Scottsdale, worth $5.6 million, with gardens and balconies built for hosting. This sure doesn't look like grief spending, maybe greed spending. Look, I've watched people lose everything after their husband's death. But Erika gained everything: wealth, influence, networks, access, and power, all in less than 3 months after Charlie's death. Now that you've seen all of these, tell me what you think. Are we watching a widow rebuild her life, or a woman revealing who she's been planning to become all along? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, click on the card on your screen for more.